Action.
And we are live on the Facebooks and the YouTubes. Hello, everybody. It's Jeff and Dave.
The Jeff and Dave Show.
I feel like I'm in a different world, though. I do. Not sure why. But anyways. So hopefully a few more people will join us. And hopefully my internet connection stays stable. There are 2 people watching already. So that's cool. I'm assuming those are not me or Dave.
I'm not watching.
Both on.
Although I just got an alert on my phones from Windows Live now.
It hasn't told me that I'm live yet, but I'm also a little further away than usual, so maybe it's just taking.
It takes a little more time for the internet to get to you now.
Yes, it does. Mr. Blue is on. Hey, Mr. Blue, Mr. Blue Sky. I prefer some cloudy, rainy skies right now to kill the humidity that we're in, because it's pretty bad out here this week. Not hugely bad, just
a little bad.
Humidex, the humid felt like over 100 degrees on Tuesday. So that was not too fun, especially when I was outside for a while. So, but yeah. Dave, what have you been working on?
Oh, already with that. Okay.
Well, it's me and you, so yeah.
That's a good point.
Glad you got your hearing aids back, Mr.
Well,
Blue.
when you get to my age.
Oh. Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Ben and Bonnie. How you guys doing?
So I've been doing some YouTubing this week, and I started a series trying to be semi-professional, not really. Where I go through this classic space or Lego space themes, but instead of doing it by theme, I went by set numbers, and I started at 6800, and I do like the 10 at a time. So I did 6800 to 6809.
Yeah.
Then it's 6810 to 6819. So I got all those videos up, and right now I'm working on building. I'm in the 6880 series, and this is 6880. One of my favorite sets.
Yeah. Oh, I love that one.
And this is also in the 6880 series, which is why I want to do
it. That last one, I was like one of the earlier ones I got as a kid.
I got this. This is a really quick tangent. This is so I got the 918 at one Christmas when they released it. Mm-hmm. Probably a few years after, because it was released in 78. And I would have been 11 at the time. And the next Christmas, I got 4 Lego sets, 4 classic space Lego sets, the 6880, the 6890, and 2 others, which are here, one of them. And then my parents, because I was 12 or 13, my parents said, no more Lego for you. You're too old for it. So I started buying my own. So anyway, so I'm 6880 is built, and this one's built. But I have like 7 or 6 more to build, so I'm building those right now.
Well, I'm glad I'm 8 years younger than you, because I was young enough to get those sets. Although I didn't get a lot of them myself. I got a few castles as well, because I love the castles theme. So
when I look at my collection, I say before the minifig, the figs with no arms that came out in probably 1975.
Yeah,
I had a few of those sets, but basically my parents bought us the basic sets, the 2, 4, 6, 8 Samsonite big boxes. This is one of them. This is what we used to get for Christmas and birthdays. And overall, this made me have a big, huge box of Lego with lots of varied pieces in it. But I did have the fire station, the 1973 fire station, the white one with the black roof and the little red trucks that look like this. But I did have the fire station.
Sorry, I pulled up. No, that was me. I pulled up YouTube for a second.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So I got this the fire station that came with this thing. Those were cool, but again, overall, we got the basic sets. We didn't get the specifics, buildings and or vehicles until I got the 918 for Christmas one year. So, and then I started buying my own, and it hasn't stopped.
There you go.
Yep.
I was just posting to Facebook, just saying that we're live. Set 10, Ben says.
Set 10, numero 10, numero 10. It's the one box I actually have that's in pretty mint condition. So I don't have too many boxes right now. That might change by the weekend, but I like this because it's small enough to keep. I don't have to, because I had the 2, 4, 6, 8. They're big boxes, right? And they're just in the way. And who needs that box? But this one, I kept. So it's one box I have that I'm gonna keep.
I probably shouldn't do this, but
yeah, my friend Willie had that set.
Your friend Janie has that set too. Just
well. We adore Janie.
And in case anybody hasn't noticed, my background's a little different because I am visiting Janie this week. Actually, I'm up here for the night, and we're going to drive back to my house tomorrow, and then next Wednesday I'll probably be here again because we're driving back on the Wednesday, and then I'll stay the night and go back. So I'll probably be at this location next week too. But yeah, I'm hanging out with Janie. I haven't seen her in a year. We realized it was like last August since we were face to face. I thought it was a lot earlier than that, or a lot more recent, but apparently not. So, yeah, been set 575. It's a Samsonite set, and it's got a Canadian flag on it.
We like those Canadian flags.
Yeah. Hey, Axel Plate. And no hula girls? No hula girls. It is a warm climate because, no air conditioning here, but luckily there's no hula girls. Well, I don't know. Unluckily? I don't know. Is that a bad thing? Would I rather have hula girls? I don't know.
It's one of those questionable things.
So, but yeah, I drove up here today. It's like a 4-hour drive from my house, so I left work a little early and came up. And I got my bricks and pieces order in this afternoon or this morning. I didn't open it. Well, okay, I did open it to check it out, but I didn't. I don't have it with me, so I'll do a video of all the parts because it was a big one. It came in a box.
I saw the box.
Yeah. I put a picture up on Instagram and Facebook. What else? Over the weekend, I added some more inventory to my store because I got some sets on clearance. Clearance here being, well, actually, no, some of them were like 50% off, so I guess I can't complain. But they were like 4+ junior sets and for trolls and what was the other one? Oh, minion set, troll set, and then a one of the Friends fairy princesses, the little fig sets, like one of the book sets. So
I should actually start doing that.
What?
Getting discounted sets in the store because I haven't bought a new set in forever.
Yeah, there's a site for that, and
we talked about that one of our shows.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, so I can. We'll talk about it later. Maybe, I don't know. Stocktrack.ca, I think it's called.
Hey, more people have joined. Axel Plate.
Yeah, Axel Plate. Yeah, I did. I popped his name up.
I missed it. Sorry.
Dave's a little. No, I won't say that.
I'm old.
Dave's a little old. Oh, hey, we got someone watching on Facebook too. Hello, whoever's watching on Facebook. I got some stats on my screen here in the top corner. Oh. And I just got a message. What does that say? Oh, David St. Cyr is on his way.
Got held up in my meeting.
There you go. Oh, yeah, that's right. He said he had a meeting before this. I forgot about that one. So he'll join us shortly, too.
In the interim, I'm just going to go.
Yes, Dave, let's see them.
All the classic space goodness that I'm building right now.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I'm wondering. I don't know if I've ever seen all the space sets at a display at a show.
I know there's a couple YouTube videos out there that probably in the States somebody's done it, and they go by year, which is kind of neat.
Yeah,
I might do it with set numbers because it goes from small to big. I'll have to debate that. So, and surprisingly, I'm missing some pieces.
Surprisingly, you're missing what? Oh, you're missing. You don't. There's a few you don't have.
There's a few pieces I do not have. No.
Yes, we want more, Dave. I agree.
And it's funny too because like the layout is the layout, and I use a lot of, because it's big and I use a lot of the same pieces. So the 2x2 inverted radar dish in trans yellow, I probably have about 70 of those, but they're all in the layout right now. I don't have any here at all. So when it calls for a trans yellow under
dish,
dish, I don't have them. So
just order some. Just buy more.
I am gonna put all the pieces that I need into a Bricklink order. Yes.
Well, you probably won't be able to find them all at one store.
No, but I'll just keep track because I just substitute for now and I'll fix it later.
Ooh, I hope they do. I mean, we have the other telescopes that are out, the Hubble and the probe one. I can't remember what that one was called now because my brain is hot, warm. Anyway, but yeah, it'd be cool. I haven't actually. I honestly I haven't seen what the Weber telescope looks like.
That'd be cool though.
But if it looks cool, yeah, then we should definitely do it. And I'm now Googling it off to the side here because I can.
I was going to, but I thought Jeff's going to do it for me, so I don't have to.
Yeah, of course. Weber Space Telescope images. Oh, well, they did actually already release this set. Sarcastically, let me just share this. This screen. It was the Wonder Woman set.
Oh, okay.
I'm being sarcastic, of course. It's not the Wonder Woman set, but I mean, you could probably make it with the parts from the Wonder Woman set.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Although it looks like it's different shapes here. I don't know if that's.
It rearranged the hexagons.
Yeah, no, that other image didn't have the other three on the side.
Right.
So, but oh no, I thought someone else joined, but then I realized that was just me sharing the screen. So we'll take that off for now. Go back to Davey and I. Near and far.
Near and far.
I miss the street. Am I building any Moxer buildings at all? I do. I just don't have anything here because I'm not actually at home. But yesterday, actually, I can pull that up on my Instagram here. Yesterday, I moved the Space Painter I'd built. I moved it into my IKEA shelving where I wanted it to be. And as I set it down,
by the way.
Well, thank you. As I set it down, I'm just trying to see if I can open a new tab. I'm just trying to see if I can find the other pictures of the painter, but it's way back in my Instagram, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it. Oh yeah, I'm almost there. 2 seconds here. What's been after that? Anyway, let me just share this back up. Oh, I had to stream. There we go. So I had put this back up in its place, and I kind of put the vehicles around it, and then I saw the gap back here. This is the picture after, but I was like, oh, it'd be kind of cool because with IKEA, there's a bar basically past these yellow beams. There's a shelf rack. So I thought, I got to build something to go into that area, and I also have to build like a place for the guys to be up top because that's like a control center. So I need to build something that goes over this door like a hallway, and I thought, maybe I can basically do a cargo storage area because I have way too many of these bins. So what I ended up doing, and I'll show you the other side. There's the wooden studs. So I basically, this is a half a cargo container, and I'll basically wall this off when I get some time.
Well, that's cool.
But what I'm going to do is just basically have a double stack here, maybe a triple stack, depending on the height, and then up here will be a control center or something. Yeah, to hide the wood. That's it's basically, this is 2 containers deep. Again, this back container is an L like this one.
Yeah, you're hiding the wood.
Yeah, I just have to basically figure out how to cover this up. I'm basically going to have to put containers all the way up here to hide the wood on this side, and then on this side I'm going to have to put some kind of a shield or a faceplate in.
I think it's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, I was working on that. And just having fun. And like I said, it was just kind of an inspiration because I saw it from this angle and thought, I don't like the fact that it just ends there. So, but then that was just basically 2 or 3 hours, probably about 2 hours of work and a bit of redesign already. And I need more of these yellow support panels, so I'm going to have to order some of those. I have them in gray and white and red, but I only had a couple of yellow. And I think yellow is a good color for in here.
Yes.
And I'm debating whether or not to actually move this out a couple more studs as well and putting another one on this side as well. I don't know. But, just some ideas in my head. Did I build anything else? My castle's kind of hit a stall as well. Let me just go back here. Scroll back up. Sorry, let me just control home because that's easier. There's my bricklink or my
the box.
That's the box I got. Open link, a new tab. I never realized that it comes out as a bigger picture if I do that. Well, a bigger-ish picture. So did I do this over the weekend? No, I did this a week ago. I haven't really gone anywhere with the towers. I've got a couple of towers. I've got 2 towers. Like the second tower is up one more section higher. And I started laying it out on the base plates. I think I talked about this last weekend, but I was doing the math and realizing I need a bigger layout than what I originally thought. So that's kind of put a hold on it. Plus, this box is contains a bunch of the parts that I needed, although not. After I ordered these parts, I realized I could use those other light gray curve pieces. I see you, Davey.
Hey.
So
Hi, guys.
But
Hey, Dan.
and yes, that's $189 worth of Lego in a box.
Well, that's okay.
And you didn't open it?
It is opened. I looked at it quickly, but I didn't get. I was so busy with work, I couldn't. I left work early to come to where I am now. So I didn't. I was off yesterday. Went to Canada's Wonderland with my kids and sweltered for 2 hours in the heat, and then we left. Thank God we have seasons passes, so if we leave, it's basically 3 hours of driving and back and forth and parking pass that we pay for, but. It's not that bad. We'll try and go back next week if the weather's cooler before school starts. But yeah. What have you been working on, Mr. Dave?
Well,
You're under.
not much Lego wise.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm late. I was actually in a meeting because we're trying to put together a show, a Lego show for this fall. Well, it's looking good right now. So
cool.
We just decided to go ahead, but we need to narrow down where we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And what the dates are available, if the dates we want are available or not. So, but as of today, it's a go. But
yeah, cool.
But it all depends on whether the 4th wave hits Quebec or not, and how the pandemic goes, because the cases keep rising. There's school starting next week. And the week after, so
wait a couple of weeks after that before you do anything too, just in case something happens with that.
Yeah,
right.
So,
it's going to be parlez-vous français, or is it going to be anglais?
It's going to be a mixture, I would think.
Well, it's just a 1-day show. We're not going to do the big Bricomanie thing, the big convention thing. We're just looking to gather a bunch of the hayfoles and who wants to showcase what they've been building for the past 17, 18 or 24 months. So, and we actually did a survey amongst Kellogg and other builders that we know in the province of Quebec, and we got a good response. I mean, it shows that people are ready to get out and show their marks. They really want to participate in something Lego related. But of course, there's some things we're gonna have to put in place, because starting September 1st, there's gonna be a passport vaccine here in Quebec. It's a big controversy, but it applies to things like Lego shows. It's something we're going to have to put together. So we're going to have to, for the people showcasing for the AFOs and for the visitors, we're going to have to check if they're double vaccinated. With the app and all. So
I mean, obviously kids aren't going to be, but
kids are under 12 are not going to be vaccinated, but
Yeah.
And it's going to be mandatory mask wearing for everyone. So
be as safe as possible, right?
Yeah.
So.
And we it's funny because we actually discussed, are we going to have the big Purell bottle on the front desk? And we've seen the studies showing that it doesn't impact the pandemic at all. It doesn't impact the virus at all. But we decided to go ahead and have the big bottles of Purell because people are used to that. And
it's more of a comfort factor than anything. If it's not effective, at least it's like, well, at least I'm sanitized.
Yeah, people are used to having that now. Every store, every mall you go to, everywhere you go to outside of your house has the big bottle of Purell at the entrance.
Yeah.
So
cool.
It's things like that we have to consider. So
yeah,
and we're going to probably limit the number of AFOLs and the number of tables that every AFOL is going to have. Get, because we want to have space, because in the safety measures the government has put in place, there's not a limit on right now. We're always speaking right now there's not a limit of person that we can admit, but we have the responsibility to limit the number of people so that social distancing can be applied. So
sorry, I'm just closing something. My work chat just popped up because my coworkers are checking.
Actually still working.
No, well, I mean, I'm on my work computer. No, my coworkers, we've got problems. We got problems, so they're checking things out every night for the next few days. And I restarted my computer, but I forgot the application comes up automatically, so I just exited it.
And I probably missed this, but where are you exactly, Jeff? You said
this is a green screen. This doesn't exist. This is all imaginary.
Okay.
This is not sand, green, brick. This is my Lego room. What are you talking about? I'm visiting Janie.
Oh.
Where I'm up for the night, and then we'll head back to my place tomorrow. Just getting her away from her.
And where's Janie?
Sorry?
Far away.
Janie's camera shy.
Where is she actually? Not in the show. No, Janie's house.
Oh, well, she's downstairs right now. She's watching TV with Brandon remotely. They're watching the Marvel What If. She's not a big fan of coming online on the screen. But and I can't give you a tour because it's not ready. It's just you. It's just you and the rest of the internet, though. You and the three other people watching.
Yeah, but I think me and Dave are worth getting Janie up on the screen.
Don't
you think, Dave?
Nope.
No. Maybe I can convince her to come on next week.
I appreciate Janie's discretion, and we'll leave it at that. I should have more discretion like she has.
I haven't watched any of the Marvel What Ifs yet. I'm waiting for my kids to decide.
I haven't watched them either, so don't spoil. Yeah. But I did cut up on Lego Masters. I just missed the last night episode.
Now 3 whole episodes.
I watched last night's too. I
haven't watched it last night, so I'm
no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Oh, you didn't watch last night?
No, I didn't watch last night. I watched this on my lunch break. I watched the last week's episode. So
yeah,
again, I'm actually liking it now.
Yeah. Yes, Axel played. Actually, it's one of my news articles, so we'll jump into that in a few minutes.
So that was my week. That's what I did.
Yeah. Cool. I was also saying earlier that I'll be back here again next Wednesday because Janie needs to get back here for Wednesday next week. So we're going to my house for like 6 days, and then we'll come back here. I'll stay at night here and then head back the next day. So lots of traveling, but it's worth it to be able to hang out with someone.
Hang out with Janie.
We haven't seen each other for a year. We had realized it was like August last year was the last time I was here.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a long time to not be able to hang out with a friend. So
this pandemic is going to have repercussions that we're
yeah,
not
for sure.
we're not truly getting right now.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to realize those impacts further down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Shall we jump into the news?
Sure.
Let's jump into the news. Top story this week. No. So this week it wasn't a whole lot of news. There are a lot of tabs open on my screen, but there wasn't a whole lot of news. The main one is I'd say the Eternals images, the Eternals sets have finally been officially announced. If you recall, some of you might recall, they were in a January catalog from Korea, I think it was, or something. So they were accidentally leaked by Lego themselves at some point. But so I think it's 3 sets. First one being the Aerial Assault, US $10. And then there's the Deviant Ambush, which is $20 US.
These are relatively small sets.
Yeah, they are. Well, this one's $60. So I think this is the big bad of the show. In Arsalan's Shadow. I think this is what the character they're battling at for probably the end of the show, was my guess. The end of the movie. And then the last one is their spaceship, Rise of the Domo. So that one's $100. I mean, this one's kind of a cool thing because it's like, how did they put?
Does it open up?
It does. There are not images of that. Let me just see if. Let me just hold on. We'll just jump over here because I have the brick set images. Page down quickly. Oh, there it is. Let's just see what they have for images.
Yeah, just click on the.
Oh no, they only have the one image. Yeah.
Yeah, that one image.
So, but yeah, it does open up. I know that I'm pretty positive of that because I think I'd seen an image originally that it was opened. It'd be weird if it wasn't opened up, right?
Yeah, but on the other, it kind of looks a little cramped to be.
Yeah. I would assume it's a place that you're.
Because it's like four.
Well, that's a 6. That's a 6 tall dish, so it probably wouldn't actually fit a minifig standing up.
Yeah,
but
probably just sitting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonjour, Monsieur
Caron.
Hey, Monsieur Caron. I was just with him in my meeting, so.
Yeah. Axel Plate doesn't like these guys. So yeah, that's the first one. What do we have next?
Big news.
Well, not big news. I think we showed off this set, right?
Yeah. We talked about it.
So there were a couple other little ones.
Oh, Santa skiing.
There's a Santa skiing one.
I like that one.
I think we saw this one too.
Yeah, we said this one.
Yeah, so it was just really the Santa skiing one. That was missed.
I like this King Santa.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I guess when the sleigh breaks down, he's got to use something. Although I'm looking at what's under his feet. And that looks...
They could have used like...
It looks like there's a tip on the end of that.
Or that one of those new 1x5s.
Yeah, it could be 1x5. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Anyway.
Hard to tell.
You could have used real skis, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like the old Technic skis. Those were always cool.
Yeah. Yeah, or the ones that you would find in the Ice Planet sets.
Oh, yeah. Were those were the Technic ones, weren't they? For the Maxi Fig skis? The Technic Fig skis? Dave?
Well, yeah.
Dave?
So, right here.
Dave?
Some had the regular.
Oh, they had the little ones?
No, not these ones. The big white ones.
Hold on, I got them too.
Yeah, those are those are from the Technic figures.
Yeah.
You could have used those.
Although that's probably
look like
that's
real
way
skis.
too big for Santa.
Yeah, I was gonna say
no. I don't know.
No. But it's better than these little orange keys. Orange keys.
Yeah.
Trans neon orange keys.
That's not what I want. There, that's fine. It's like I don't know what I'm doing. All right. Apparently these sets are officially announced. I thought they already had been announced. But apparently What was that?
City
cute.
Stunts.
These stunts. Yeah, I could have swore these were already announced. But maybe
It
that was
kinda
just the
looks like
motorcycle.
that Toy Story 4 sets. Like that looks
Yeah,
like that Toy Story 4 line. But
the Canadian dude.
yeah,
I can't think of his
I
name
didn't
right
get,
now.
which I'm actually sad about. But whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think originally they had just announced a little motorbike pullback, so now.
Oh yeah, the pullback action, the motorbike. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Oh, this one has a spider. Interesting. Why do you need a spider?
Why not?
And
Because
that's
it's scary.
gray. Those are gray. I'm always looking for that white brick because they exist. So where do they come from? We don't know yet. A stunt truck.
The orange ramps are cool though.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what that piece is. What's the small set to get that in? Probably this one here.
Yeah.
Which is $40. Is it in this one? Oh no, that's the
Probably
first one.
yeah, probably behind the loop.
Oh, there are some. Oh, the bikes are cheaper, but yeah, we'll have to see. Although they're actually two pieces too, which is interesting. They've got a ramp. They've got a ramp piece, and then there's the actual curve part.
So that's actually separated. I can't tell.
Yeah, it's two pieces. Well, there is a line. I don't think I can zoom in on. Oh, hold on.
That's
Maybe I
fine.
can zoom in. Can I zoom in that way? Oh wait, that image was up here. There.
Yeah, you see a line there.
Okay, yeah.
So, $69 for this one. Again, US. But
See?
hey,
there's your ramp.
these there's another shot of the ramp. And these gray bases for this transport truck make great things to put monorail in.
Yippers.
Because it's fun. $99. Well, that was the big set we saw with orange roller coaster track because we don't have it in every other color. That was sarcasm. Oh,
Sarcasm. Yeah, I got that.
You got the orange ramp.
Oh yeah, and here's that ramp being used as well.
Oh, okay, so yeah, so it's a plate high probably, or 2 plates high.
2 plates high, it looks like.
2 plates high, and then you got
ooh, and it's 8 wide. So I'm just thinking for town applications, if that comes out in like a light gray at some point, for modulars, for the new modular road plates, that would be a nice transfer to get back to ground level.
That's true.
So maybe they'll end up using it there. And then there's the smaller bike sets, so I'm not going to even go into those because we've seen those. I'm sorry, I'm zooming back out. We're all just, although the chicken suit guy, where's the chicken suit one? Oh, here's one, $29 that comes with a ramp. So that's not too bad.
Probably gonna be like
these will go on sale pretty quick. No, I'm just joking. Oh, there's chicken suit guy. I think this one's funny. Extreme.
Oh, that's nice.
I would get it just for the pullback action because I like pullback motors.
Yeah, I understand. That makes sense. All right, what do we got next? Next is
but pullback motors isn't that like 1980?
Yeah, they're fun.
You're talking to Dave here. He's 1980.
I am 1980.
That's why he likes them.
David, look.
Anyways, so there was a Super Mario promo that was supposed to come out a while ago on the Reward Center for Shop at Home, and it's apparently out now. Just like things you can get on your Nintendo system, I would say. So like digital download for 50 points and what's this golden keyring set for 50 points.
I also read that if you have a Nintendo account, there's a promo there that gets you 250 VIP points on Lego.
Oh, which then you can use to buy these things.
Yeah. So it's a full circle there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Giving it 200 free My Nintendo Platinum points when you can redeem on Nintendo.com. While you're there, My Nintendo has the Lego Mario keychain for 400 Nintendo Platinum points. Interesting. So it's just a cross promotion with Nintendo, right? Why not?
Yep.
Makes sense.
They're trying to promote the sets.
I pulled this one up because it's another castle that is 10,000 supporters on Lego Ideas. Dear Lego, get the message, build more castles.
Just get a castle line going.
That's even better. This one's pretty cool, though.
Because castle is supposed to be an evergreen theme.
Yeah,
Kevin
exactly.
Dinkle mentioned that at least once.
Yeah.
I remember him saying that.
Yeah. And this one actually has a dungeon level too, which is pretty unique. We haven't seen that too often, I would say. So that's kind of cool. I think finally we have the Star Wars one. Nope, that's the Eternals. Oh, we already saw that one. Where's the Star Wars? That's hilarious. Hold on, let me just open up Rick's fan again, and I'll open that up. Because that is technically the second biggest news thing you hear. Here it is. So we've been waiting. Some people have been waiting. My kid has been waiting for the Lego Star Wars Saga, which is all 9, possibly 10 movies, possibly 11 movies, actually, because we have Solo and Rogue to come out. And it was announced finally this weekend that it will be coming out. Originally, it was supposed to come out, I think, October last year, and then they pushed it to like May this year. And now it is set to come out spring 2022. There is a trailer attached, which I'm not going to pull up now because the internets will hate me, or at least YouTube will kill me. You know what I mean. But it sounded like, I think Axelplate or someone was watching it and said it was that he watched that video and it was pretty good. I'm assuming he said it was pretty good. I mean, he talked about it, so therefore it must be good, right?
Yep.
So.
And did they mention on which platform it's gonna be released?
Yes, it is. It should be all platforms, but no, it's not mentioned here. From what I know, it was definitely PlayStation, Xbox, and the Switch. And Xbox, it's debatable whether or not it'll be PC as well. I don't know if they've done that for the Lego games. There is more. Sorry?
They used to do that, but
yeah. And there is more details. Like this game was announced like 2 years ago, 2+ years ago. Hold on.
Right here, whoever it is.
Yeah, I just swiped down. I feel like I'm swiping left for. Anyway. Or swiping right. I don't know. I don't do it, so I don't know which one's the right way.
See, Jeff, that's why you don't have a date. Keep swiping the wrong way.
Swiping the wrong direction. I'd have to actually have the app too, but that's a different story. So yeah, anyway, like I said, this has been announced a couple of years ago already. So what platforms it was already available for pre-order. So you can easily look it up. I can't recall offhand, but I know it was at least the big 3 platforms, Nintendo, PS, and Xbox. So let's see what we got here. We already talked about
it doesn't matter anyway because I'm still stuck with my my Nintendo Wii. So
yeah, Wii. Yeah, I don't think it's on Wii. I think they've discontinued that one by now.
Well, it's still
on the Switch though. But so there were some new parts posted a few days ago. 26 new parts. Most of them are actually, I think all of them are from the Mario collectible poly bags. So there's not really a lot. It's mostly printed parts. There's not really a lot of new pieces other than, this handle thing in yellow. These guys have already existed, but it's probably just a new mold. Oh no, these are in sand blue. Sorry.
Yeah.
Read that wrong.
Blue.
The little white propeller, which is a minifig accessory for their helmets, and then a brown, dark orange wind-up key. So those are the main ones. So that's about it for that. We already looked at that. We already looked at the Weber Space Telescope. Assuming COVID doesn't nix plans, 20 weeks until Brick Fair, Alabama, which is the first Canadian event I'm attending. I don't care about anybody else. No, I know Ben and Bonnie said that they might head down to this one. I know Dave's talked about it a little bit too. Janie and Brandon are considering it as well. So depends on the borders opening up in time.
Open the border.
Yeah.
Open the border.
There's also some talk unofficially. Talk is just a few of us, and none of you guys have been in it. Katie and I were talking. Oh no, Dave was in that chat too. About maybe late October, if the border is open, going down into New York State for a particular something. Theme parky wise, that might have to do with the brick.
Oh,
but it depends if the border's open. They're open till the last weekend of October, so we were talking about like the second last weekend. Maybe doing a road trip. So, but again, border has to be open in order to do that. So, yeah. So that's it for news.
Are you going to meet up with Ryan?
I would like to. I'm not sure. I gotta say, I'm not that friendly with Ryan. I met Ryan back in 2009 at the Lego Universe stuff that we were doing, but I don't think he really remembers me from that. I mean, I've been on the chats with him, but I don't know if that'll garner any, special fun parts. Special fun, you know what I mean? Anything of interest. But maybe if there's a group of us that show up, we might be able to.
Hey, if you need a plug, I can plug you in, guys, because I know I've known Ryan.
You're pals.
I'm pals with Ryan. We never actually met, but we used to hang out on FBTB.net.
Okay, yeah. And for those of you and for those that don't know, Ryan is used to go by Chief, probably still does. A guy looks a lot like one of the characters on Battlestar Galactica, or at least back then.
Ryan Wood.
Chief.
His real name.
From Brick
and Ryan's his real name, and he's the master model builder. No, he's like the manager of the model building team, I think now. Yeah. At Legoland New York. So,
and his house is actually you can actually see the park from his house.
So I can see everything's okay. Stop touching that. Oh, there was an article the other day.
I read it. The people are wrecking the park.
Yeah, people are, because of the park's on a hill, and there's part of the park is up high, and then there's certain paths going down on a steep hill to the middle part, and then there's another part off to the side. People are not taking the paths down, and they're walking down the hills that are decorated with Lego models, and of course kids are climbing on the Lego models and stuff that are in the grass because they're walking past them, and the parents are like, "Oh, let's get Johnny on a picture of riding this Lego animal." Meanwhile, there's signs everywhere that says, "Please do not walk on the grass. Please do not touch the models." And people are doing it. So there was an article the other day that was kind of,
sad.
The craze. Okay, so for the record, Mr. Blue, which Dave are we talking about?
Not me. This is a regular T-shirt.
Oh,
no
Dave. Okay, fine. Well, maybe he likes your T-shirt.
Batman.
But then I realized he did say David. So, and Dave. You're Dave K, and that's David. So fine, I'll be quiet.
I'm back.
So,
I'm Batman.
So yeah, the topic for tonight, which actually I can just do this because, wait, hold on, that didn't work so well. Let me just do this one and go here.
It's not working.
He's making it work.
It's not working. That's the wrong one, anyhow. No, I was trying to pull up the image, and then I realized, I don't have the image.
Make it work.
So worst themes. Worst themes. Now this started kind of because Dave. Well, actually, no. We had you, Dave. A couple of days ago, we were starting to talk about it in a few chats. So, about what the worst theme is and all that stuff. And there are so many different ways that we could take this because there are different ways of judging what the worst theme is.
And I got a lot of great. I posted a question on Facebook, and I got a lot of great suggestions and teams that I didn't think that people thought they were bad, but looking at it, they actually do suck.
Okay, well, we can review those as well. I mean, we had a few in our internal chat as well that were brought up. Mr. Blue, at least in Ontario, we are in heavy humidity.
Very heavy humidity.
Quebec here too.
Low 30s temperature, which is like in the 80s. No, probably in the 90s Fahrenheit. And our humidity is making it hit 100. Like the other day, I was at Wonderland, and it was going to be 100 degrees with the humidity at one point. I don't know about
when I left to get my son here at about 4 p.m.
Yeah,
the temperature in my car was saying it was 33 degrees Celsius outside without humidity.
Yeah.
So,
which is I'm just Americanizing it because I know some 91.4.
I agree with Mr. Kiron. Stay inside and play Lego.
The weather in Canada, stay inside, play all, and it's true. It's both winter and summer. It's like that. Yeah. So, hey, Rick or Rick, because that's just funny. So no problem. You can join us. I mean, life happens. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do this because I wasn't sure how the connection was going to be, but so far it's been pretty good.
But pretty solid.
I'm the farthest point away from the Wi-Fi router, so but it seems to be okay. So yeah, worst set ever. There's so many different ways you can check
Worst
this.
theme.
Worst theme ever. Fine.
Not the worst set, because you had some great teams with bad sets, but you had some.
Yeah, this and this is actually why, now that I remember, because I remember Dave, as I was watching his videos the past week, you're like, this one kind of is a filler set. It's not really that great. It's just they had to make a set in this price range or whatever. And I was like, yeah, and we had talked about bad sets, bad themes. So it's kind of an ongoing thing. By the way, I'm standing, so if you see me wobbling around.
No, you look dynamic. You look
well, I've been standing for a while, so I'm starting to feel it, but that's okay.
We're set.
So I might just do this for a while. Anyway, but yeah, okay. So, what is, in your opinion, what's the worst theme that Lego's ever produced, or what's the top 10 worst themes?
Galador.
Galador.
And actually, you know what we'll do? I will
Galador.
My screen
was
again.
The worst theme
and
ever.
We will just Lego search.
I'm gonna say me and the big guy here are gonna refute that claim.
Oh, hold on, Dave. We'll full screen you here,
It's
buddy.
not even Lego.
Well, then you can't
Dave,
see Bionicle's Lego.
The big guy's missing an arm.
Yeah.
It's not even Lego. Where's the connection? Where are the studs? Where are?
It has the same connection points as Technic. Look, right there, Technic.
Yeah,
right
but
the same click hinges as.
Yeah, that's the only thing but that's the thing. Is there a single Lego stud anywhere on that thing?
No.
Is it in system?
But it's got Technic pins on it.
Technic pin to me doesn't mean it's in system. To me, system means you have to at least have a stud.
Then Galador. I mean, Bionicle's gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jack Stone has studs, but yeah, Bionicle. But no, Bionicle. Did Bionicle not have some bricks and blades?
Not at the beginning. At some point, they've the studless beams.
Well, at least Bionicle had holes for studs.
Sure.
And holes for Technic pins and they actually had Technic pins that you would come off. Now
awesome.
On Galador, you just have an arm with a Technic connector, not a Technic pin. So
it was directed at the TV show at the time. If the TV show didn't fail, the theme wouldn't have failed. It's as simple as that.
No.
Crap.
Both were horrible to begin with. That's end of story.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think Lego made a good move doing that set.
No, I picked it up at Valley Village.
From the point of view of Bionicle, I mean, yes, it was not the best theme in the world, and I'm not defending it, but it did help Lego pull out of bankruptcy.
It saved Lego.
Yeah, it saved them. It's actually saved them in 1999 because they were getting bankrupt, and it was the only line that made money. And the craze was actually that much crazy that you couldn't find a Bionicle set in stores because they were like going the minute they were on the shelves, they were selling like hot cupcakes. So
it's really odd too because Throwbots basically in the Technic line was out a few years before that, kind of were the predecessor to Bionicles, and I couldn't stand Throwbots.
Oh, the Throwbots, yeah.
But Bionicles, I mean, for all their many faults, for us brick builders, the stuff you can make with Bionicle is just gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Bionicle builders are just the best. They're just absolutely fluid and whatever. I'm very impressed with what the fans can do with Bionicle bricks.
Yeah, and what you got to give to those fans too is that they're loyal to that team.
Oh yeah,
to no end. And they were able to bring back Bionicle when it was canceled by Lego and replaced by Hero Factory.
Right.
And all the Bionicle fans were like downgrading Hero Factory. They hated that team and they asked for Bionicle back, and they got it back.
Well, it's the history of Lego. They come up with a fantastic thing. Like Bionicle in its piece parts was just like Lego bricks, and you can mix and match, and you can build a lot of different things. When the Hero Factory came out, it was like 5 pieces to build the robot or to build the Bionicle. and you couldn't mix and match like you could with previous Bionicles and take them apart and build fantastic creatures out of it.
Yeah.
I didn't like Hero Factory, and I'm not even a Bionicle
Yeah,
fan.
and I'll pull Hero Factory up in a minute, but Bionicle did actually make some brick-built sets.
Yes.
They had some Bionicle parts in it, but I mean, these two, I know there was a castle
or
this thing had studs.
there was a huge diorama with the little tiny plastic minifigs that were
like these guys.
Yeah. So they had some really good ideas. Fantastic concept. I loved the movies. I watched the Bionicle movies. We got
these guys.
The Mask of Light or whatever. We watched that sporadically. It's a great movie. Yeah, I saw that one in Valley Village once. I didn't buy
it. I don't blame you. So it's Hero Factory you said as well. So
Bionicle is great for people who want to build stuff that's not brick built.
And it's more oriented action figure, but it's like build your own action figure.
Yeah. I mean, Hero Factory was just weird. Hero Factory did have like little minifig sized guys.
Yeah.
At least some of these did, but they also had that weird castle theme that was the big knights as well. But they had also had small minifig sized knights with them too. Like that.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can pull that up.
Knights Kingdom.
One of the Knights Kingdoms that existed.
Yeah, the big knights is.
Yeah, let me just see if I can find that. I don't know if that's going to be
using the same things as Exo Force. Like it was the same base plate as Exo Force and all the other ones.
We're talking about the Bionicle fans. They're still loyal to that team because
extremely
if you remember last year when they held that contest or the vote for the set that will come out next year for Lego's 90th birthday, Bionicle was one of the finalists in the team. So they have a great fan base and a very loyal fan base. So even though I think Bionicle is crap and I never would use it in a build, you gotta give prompts to their fan base and to the fact that like you said in 1999 it saved the company from bankruptcy.
For sure. I mean,
Star Wars.
I mean, to me, it's more also just the construction line, like the whole big figure thing. They were appealing to a younger audience or an audience that was into action figures as well, and I get it. But to me, it just never fit into the system. So
it never fit into the system. They also had they started off with hey, you have to buy a certain number of sets in order to get the right part. Like the brains and the whatever.
The mask.
It was the same thing as Pokemon cards. So you had to buy the whole set and have
to get all the masks.
The masks and all that stuff. That's cute. It was collectibles. It was and they kind of dropped the ball for a bunch of years, and then they came up with the collectible minifigs. Like people like the collectibles, right? And the old hockey cards back when I was a kid, and you find the one pack that has the Bobby Orr rookie card in it, stuff like that. So Bionicle did that, and as David said a bunch of times, and it's very true, it saved Lego until Star Wars came out, and then Star Wars and Bionicle together kept Lego going for the first part of 2000.
Yeah, for sure. Axel Plate mentioned the Barbie line, which is Scala.
Yeah, Scala. Yeah. Someone else mentioned that also down on Facebook, and I have to agree that it was a stretch out by Lego.
Well, I mean, it was them trying to appeal to, unfortunately, them trying to appeal to a female audience more, right?
Yeah.
They're pre-friends.
In a bad way.
Oh, Dave's got one.
Dave's got everything.
Dave's got it. Yeah.
Remember my supercar that was radio controlled? She drove.
Oh yeah, she drove that. I remember that now.
When you get used lots, you get what you get.
Yeah, for sure.
Dave's collects Barbies.
Lego Barbies, not just Barbies. Lego Barbies.
Technically, Rick was saying it's not all system, but neither is Technic. Lego has a few themes that aren't system based. They're more for the diehard system lovers. Now, I mean, Technic did have, they still have the half pin, which has a Lego stud on the end, right? And I mean, Technic originally started out as studded bricks with holes in them.
Yeah, the studded bricks.
I mean, I would argue now that Technic is in system. It's just it's modified itself into
It was
with the smooth beams, just more because it's easier to build more technical models with that.
Yeah, it started off as an expert builder back in '77, and then
Yeah.
it's evolved into Technic. And I kind of stuck with the brick builds, the Technic bricks, and then the studless just came in after that. And again, the combination of both is great, and studless construction I still can't wrap my head around. So whatever.
And Hero Factory are definitely more posable than minifigs are and stuff. So I could totally see for stop motion that would be an awesome tool to have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mr. Caron actually did his first stop motion movie with Hero Factory figurines.
Yeah.
Well, nice.
So
they would have succeeded. Yeah, trying different things that appeal to younger and newer fans in different ways. Yes.
Some things different. Like I was surprised. I remember seeing the prequels to Bionicle in the Lego magazines back in the late '90s, coming next fall, and you see the little pod sitting on the beach. And I said, hey, this is interesting. Like, there's going to be a story behind this now, right? Because up until then, I mean, they had the Blacktron versus the Space Police and whatever, but all those cute little things and themes. But they actually hyped it up pretty much for a year before Bionicle was released. And I remember buying a few, and I thought this is. And they came up the first 6, and I liked them at the beginning. I just couldn't wrap my head around. Like, I built the figure that came in the pod, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it. It stays in the container after that. My son got a couple from my dad that were used, but he found them at a flea market or whatever, and he gave them to my son, and he's like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" And Thomas was pretty young at that point, but it kind of made me giggle. And I'm like, we'll just build it later, and he's like, "Okay." So Jeff has joined us as well. I also noticed that another Jeff. There's 3 Jeffs or 2 Jeffs in chat, and me, so I'm winning.
I didn't mind Scala because you got some interesting parts with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's a few interesting parts that came with Scala that the sets were horrible. They
absolutely
they weren't very compatible with the rest of the Lego lines, but you got a few interesting really parts in them but
it's just like Clickets too, right? I mean, remember Clickets lasted a minute basically back in the day.
And someone on Facebook mentioned, and I found that interesting. He mentioned that he thought that the Dots line was the worst thing.
I like Dots because you can actually do a lot of very fantastic detail.
No, he said, and I think he said that it was promising, but it never delivered like it was supposed to. And he found that the parts in the sets are too much like parts that you would find in your own collection that you would find in other sets. So there's not enough good parts and new parts and Dots to make it a great team. So,
but you get lots of them, and I'm seeing people build stuff that have a lot of detail, like pictures and mosaics and all that stuff. And it's cool.
Lettering as well. There's because of all the different curve pieces and stuff. It's a lot easier to do lettering.
I don't have one set yet, but I want a dozen because I got all these base plates here that I want to do a huge mosaic on.
I want Lego to release a larger Dots wristband because they don't fit my wrist. I want it like a literally a couple studs longer, and then I can wear one because I would because they're cool.
I like them. Because I have a few Clickets over here, and I bought them on deep discount. And I remember we were at, oh my goodness, where was it? The first Brick Fest? I can't remember, but somebody built an aquarium.
Yeah,
I think it was the first Brick Fest.
Brick Fest, maybe.
Brick Fest.
Okay.
Was it Brick Fest? I mean, when did Clickets?
The glow in the dark one? Is that what you're talking about? Like the one that
I can't remember. When did Clickets come out?
Oh, Clickets were back. I don't know.
That was after 90s.
If only I had a tool that I could type it in.
Yeah, like Google it. But the guy built a beautiful aquarium with coral reefs and all that stuff, and he used a ton of Clickets on it. And I said, "Holy moly, that's just gorgeous!" Oh,
yeah, I was right. It would have been 2003.
So then that was
2003 to 2006.
So the guy had an aquarium, and it was big. It was like 2 feet across. And had angelfish and Finding Nemo clownfish and all that stuff. Yeah. And it had this huge coral, and it looked real from a distance. You thought it was a real aquarium.
Yeah.
And he used a ton of Clickets in it. And I said, because I had a few Clickets, and I'm going, "What do you do with this?" The guy built an aquarium, and it was just gorgeous.
So going back to Jeff's comment, because he's like, yes, Bionicle saved the company, but on the other hand, don't fix what isn't broken.
Lego's broken.
Lego's company was broken. They had
Lego
gone
was
down
broken.
too many
In the late
weird
90s. It
routes.
was so
Yeah.
bad. They could not produce a good set for the life. Well, the only good set they had after 1995 was the RCX. Period. Like that was it.
And if you read up on the history of the company, it back in 1999 and
They're
2000 when they were
still
in
in the
trouble, they didn't know how much a set costs to produce.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
They
they were
didn't
bad.
know how much the cost of to produce a set. So
From end
they
to
were
end, from
pricing just how
making to box to packaging to shipping. Like they didn't have all those analytics. They didn't have that information.
They
so,
didn't want it though, and because when they started reacquiring all their licenses from Samsonite and everywhere else, and they started conglomerating them back into one central cohesive company, they didn't bother putting in the infrastructure. Hi everybody. They didn't bother trying to get the infrastructure to keep track of what they were doing, and they also, whatever their builders were thinking, they couldn't build a fire truck that looked like a fire truck in the late 90s. They couldn't build any set that looked like it was supposed to. Like even their Technic fire truck that came out in 1997, I can't remember. It was the ugliest thing I've ever seen. And I love Technic. Could not believe how bad it was. And so I think my only dark ages is for buying, and I did not buy a single Lego set really off the shelf from 1992 to 1998 because there was nothing that appealed to me. And even my nephews just would not even touch the stuff until the RTX showed up. And that was my first set that I had purchased brand new in all those years. And then Bionicle showed up, and I think that actually it was in the RCX, right? It was in the RCX when I got the brochure for Bionicle that was going to be released the next year. Yeah. And I said, "Ooh, this looks interesting." And straight up, I think Bionicle came out the first year, and then Star Wars license came out the year after.
Yeah, and Star Wars also helped the company, obviously.
And Star Wars just got them right back on the map because it wasn't Bionicle, it was brick built, and you had the little Luke Skywalkers and the Darth Vaders. And I grew up in the era, I was 10 years old when Star Wars was released, and the Kenner toys for Star Wars was the biggest thing off the store shelves every Christmas and birthday. And so Lego Star Wars, they should have done it 2 decades before. So.
And just on Axel Play's comment here that with the old Technic versus the new studless versus studded. It's a mind shift, right? You got to change the way you do things by a half a stud, like in all directions. And I still sometimes I'm trying to connect the two, and I'm like, I can't figure out this math. It's just like it's confusing me. So, Fabuland is the best thing ever for Furries. Before it was cool. I think Fabuland was an amazing theme as well. I have one character. I have the Bulldog Mailman. That's the only one I have, and I'd love to find more.
Such bright colors, such vibrancy. It was very cute.
And it was. I think it was a good transitional theme because you were starting with Duplo, then you went to Fabuland. That it was smaller bricks, but you had still the bigger piece, like the big garage thing or the big
the big box. Yeah.
The big blocks and the big card bases. So it was a good transitional theme because you were starting with Duplo, just putting big blocks together. Then you got to Fabuland that with all these animals and the real easy sets to build, and then you got to the real Lego. So it was kind of the junior theme of the day.
Well, and that's where I was going to come in from this whole topic. The worst line that Lego ever put out with Junior, like straight up, it was for me the worst line because
wasn't it Jack Stone? Jack Stone was
Jack Stone and the other ones, but it was the juniorized versions of everything. They dumbed it down when they put 2x4 bricks on top of it and make one big brick for them to build with instead of having 3 2x4 bricks. Like, what are you doing? That's what Fabuland didn't do. Fabuland was still a building set that had really bright and vibrant pieces, and the juniorized version of that came out a bunch of years later with Jack Stone and everything just looked hokey in comparison. And I wouldn't blame parents for not buying it, right? Because you're gonna walk in Fabuland, hey, cute little animals, whatever. Like the kids are coming off of dolls and they're playing with this now. It's perfect. It was a perfect transition, as David said, from Duplo to Lego, whereas juniorized stuff was just blech.
Yeah, and you know that the one of the only set that I was building with the instructions and I messed up was a Jackstone set. Because the instructions were just like horrible, and it was a small set. It was the tow truck set from the Jackstone line, and I actually messed up the build because the instructions weren't clear enough, and it's one of the only Lego set that I messed up building with the instructions.
Which one?
Go down. Yeah. It was a small that one. I'm pointing to your screen.
I can't see your finger.
The bottom row.
So like
The
this row or
second one from the left.
this one?
No, second one from the left.
Oh, from the left. This one here.
Yeah, that one. The rescue record.
Record.
I messed up building that set, and I had to go back and check the instructions because I messed up the build. And it had like 10 parts probably. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little more than 10, I think, but let's just find out here. So, in other words, if anybody wants to get David a present, he would like more copies of this set. 24 parts.
24 parts.
Don't give him the instructions though.
And the worst part is that I bought that set because I wanted the big canopy. Because back in those days, I wanted to do a slave one, and it was the biggest
canopy
cockpit that you could get. So I wanted to, and I saw somebody make a mock of the slave one or Boba Fett's spaceship. During during those days, so I wanted to build and I actually built it with it, but I messed up building that set because the instructions were just horrible.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're a parent and you're buying a set that the kid's coming off of Duplo, and you got a set that has this guy in it, or even a set that has this guy in it, which one are you going to buy?
Hold on, David. Let's see.
I gotta.
Well, but they were out at different times, though, Dave. So you can't really make back and forth.
I understood, but my whole point is that I would buy Fabuland over Junior any day of the week for a 4-year-old that's going to be going from Duplo to Lego. So, because this looks like it's for a 4-year-old, and this looks like it should be for a 6 or 8-year-old, and yet all the pieces were like stupider than Fabuland. So, anyway, I didn't like the juniorized. I never did. I don't like having 3 bricks to make 3 2x4 bricks to make 1 brick just to make it easier for 4-year-olds to build.
I just realized I'm sharing that. I'm just looking at our what else? Oh, Pirates reboot from 2011. Which Jeff was this? This was just Jeff McElwee. Let me pull that up. Jackstone, let's share this again.
I didn't get that Barracuda.
Yeah, Jeff basically said that the reboot was bad because they only got small pirate sets in that re-release, while on the other hand you could get all the big ships in the Pirates of the Caribbean line.
The Pirates of the Caribbean, we had a bunch of smaller sets. We didn't
2011
because Josh
it's not in the list.
Josh loved Pirates of the Caribbean.
2015
the movie.
No, that's not it. Is this the one, Jeff? Because these were fairly small sets. Oh no, but they have the Brick Bounty, so they didn't have a bigger ship. So that's probably not the same one. 2009.
Yeah.
No, there's some big sets here too.
Yeah.
2013
probably.
Well, that's only one set. That's just a little pirate pack. Huh. Maybe it's not pirates. Maybe it's something else. Although it'd be silly if it wasn't under the Pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, I don't know which theme that is. Interesting. Okay, how about on chat? Anybody else might have the wrong year, Jeff just said. Yeah, I know which ones you're talking about. I remember seeing some a while back that were not the best. But I mean, 2001? No, those are all bigger sets.
Yeah, it's that Black Sea Barracuda, but like those are big.
Yeah.
Or
The Black Sea Barracuda is 2002.
Was it that? Wow.
So maybe this is 2015. Like most of them are.
If I go back on Facebook,
Is that sorry, Dave? Is that 2002 the re-release, the Legend set, or is
Yeah,
that the
yeah. That was a re-release.
Okay.
I'm feeling old now. I'll double check to make sure because you could just be feeling old.
Well, I know
yeah, it's a 10,000 series.
Yeah,
so
that's the re-release. Okay.
Yeah. Look for Lego.
Time Cruiser was one team that was mentioned on Facebook.
Which one?
Asked the question. The Time Cruiser line.
That's fine. Time Cruisers was a great parts pack for any theme you wanted to make a parts pack for.
Yes, but I made the comment today that if you had other parts from other teams, they were great parts pack. But if it's the first set you got, or the only set you got as a Lego set, you couldn't make anything else with it.
No, you're right. But they had the cab to the Metro liner in it. Like it was just the oddest. It was the oddest theme. Like you're gonna get the cab piece for the Metro liner in the Time Cruiser set. Like what is this?
I found a 4 Juniors one, but I don't know if that's it.
That's what I just showed you. I got the minifig from that, and it's just anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
they had some cuteness to it, but I liked Fabuland better for that position between Duplo and Lego.
Just seeing what else is in our chat here.
I can't think of any.
I also saw somebody suggesting Avatar was the worst.
Yeah, the Avatar. Like my daughter agrees 100%. She saw the Avatar sets and she was like the last Airbender Avatar, but not the James Cameron mega movie Avatar.
Yeah,
because they never made sets from.
No, well, they should. That spaceship was gorgeous in Avatar. That was.
Well, I agree.
Favorite spaceships ever.
But
Mega Trucks got Mega Blocks got the.
Yeah.
So here's one about this. I forgot these sets existed.
Yeah. My daughter also said, I think I can't remember the Earthbender. I can't remember her name right now. She doesn't watch this, so it doesn't matter that I forget. But they're missing one of the best characters in this series because there was only 2 sets, right? They just didn't.
Yeah, there was only 2 sets. They were poorly packaged because if you look at those sets, they don't look that great.
No, for sure. Although I actually know what these things are now that I've seen the show finally.
Josh watches it religiously right now.
And you guys were talking about Time Cruisers earlier. But I mean, for me as a kid with Time Cruisers, Toph. Thank you, Jeff. Toph was the Airbender character. The Time Cruisers for me, I was at the age where it's like, ooh, extra castle pieces, extra space pieces. Yeah, it was a parts pack.
It was a parts pack, but as I mentioned, if you didn't have any other Lego sets to begin with, and it was your first Lego set, you couldn't do anything else with it because we're basically stuck with a bunch of parts that didn't go well together.
For sure.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw out another one, which was kind of talked about in our personal chat, I think. How about anything that is using Bluetooth? All the apps, Nexo Knights was mentioned, because Nexo Knights for the shields,
hidden
side because they had a game attached to it. But when those ones go away, you still have the sets. They're still good parts. They're decent looking sets. People really like some of the sets. But I'm more talking about like the power function stuff or the Power Plus. What's it called now? The new one.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. Where it's Bluetooth connection. Yeah. Like I know for sure someone at some point is going to create a generic app that we can use to control those if Lego stops supplying that app or whatever.
Yeah.
But relying on technology to have something where you could just have a remote control, right? That's Bluetooth enabled connection, whatever. I mean, I know it's cheaper to not include that and to not have to design that stuff, but it's not future proofing your stuff.
And it's not right? But then either was the RCX.
No, exactly. And RCX right now, you have to keep in like a 20-year-old computer underneath the computer,
and
just in order to program it.
Dave, you have everything from 20 years old, so
and more. But I have a boost. I bought it for Josh so he could learn how to program on the phone and stuff because you can program the boost via Bluetooth, obviously. It's an introduction to the kids. And as the kids grow up, so does the software. I mean, I learned how to program on my Commodore 64 and using the. I wish I had the interface card for the original logo, the TC logo for Lego back in the day, but that's long gone. I'd have to buy an Apple IIe right now in order to run that thing, and I still have the interface, right? So it's like, it's the history of technology. The bricks are still, you can still use, but I have how many TC logo interfaces here sitting here? That's crazy. So you're not going to get away from that. So, but Bluetooth has been around for decades now, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere soon. But and speaking of the software, one of my favorite video games that Lego ever put out was Lego Loco, the train one, the Lego Loco.
Oh yeah, the train one. I remember that.
And you used to be able to go back and forth between people's layouts, right? And that was fun. And there's no way that's coming back, right? So it's like, it is what it is.
As a castle lover, sorry, Dave, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. As a castle lover, Nexo Knights was an awesome theme. I do like it, just because it was a mixture of tech and castle.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can understand why people weren't fond of it. I mean, parents are, like, put your app down and put your screen down, and now you've got a video game to play while you're playing with your Lego. So. And
the Transformers was awesome.
Yeah. And Kimchi Bricks has joined us inside of some of the best original Lego IP. Yep. Fire Truck was awesome as well, for sure. I don't own a lot of the. I don't think I own any of the hidden side sets.
Yeah, but the hidden side, and I think it was Rick who mentioned that in our private chat, is that they weren't packaged.
Yeah, the
package wasn't that great. The sets are actually good sets, and they have great part selection, but the packaging again is messed up, and it doesn't appeal to kids, and it doesn't showcase the actual
what it can do,
can do with the sets and the parts, and
the marketing sucked.
Yeah, the marketing sucked.
Yeah, Lego has a problem with that.
And to Brickham's Den's comment here about Nexo sets, the color scheme I did really love. The gray, the blue, the trans orange cockpits. I mean, it was getting really close to being a classic space castle tech theme. But didn't quite get there. But I mean, I like the characters too. I mean, we watched the TV show, and we liked the TV show. My kids watched everything.
I think Nexo Knight actually got bad press and bad reviews because Castle fans were disappointed that it wasn't a Castle theme.
Yeah,
because it was more like a space. It looked like a more like a space theme than a Castle theme. And you got more parts that could be used like as in spaceships rather than in castles. So I think that it got bad press and it got bad reviews because of that.
Yeah. Dave, do you know how Sylvan's doing? We haven't seen him for a few weeks. I haven't talked to him.
I just talked to him. He was in my meeting just before that. So he's fine. He's just working hard and working long hours. So
it's definitely busy times of the year. Just a failure all around.
He came into our meeting. Actually, was late because he just came home from work.
Yeah,
he hadn't eaten, so.
Yeah,
I think it's normal that he's not here.
There's one we haven't talked about yet, and I just remembered. And I'm pulling it up right now. What are you holding up there, Dave?
I was gonna say hidden side. I'm kind of with Brickham's Den, Rick on this, but I do love the set.
Yeah, I think they're cool sets, and
they're cool sets. They're really cool sets.
Really cool sets.
Yeah, I personally didn't buy them just because my kids weren't that interested in them.
Josh was,
and I wasn't buying a lot of sets at that point. Like I wasn't. That's not a theme that I was concentrating on, right?
Right.
But here's a theme that I know some of us definitely bought for certain parts. Here's talk about themes that technically aren't in system, but this is because it did have Technic holes and it did have Technic axles and it did have Technic motors. The Snap.
It had a
the worst name. If it's not the worst theme, it's the worst name ever for a theme because you couldn't pronounce it in French, English, probably German. Definitely not in Chinese or Japanese. So,
but these sets ended up being dirt cheap because no one wanted them, and they had the Technic motors in them. So we bought a crap ton
battery boxes. We got tons
of battery boxes. Yeah.
And they make great train bridges, and they make great big structures quickly. And I played with mine, Zednap. Again, Jeff and I remember we bought them at a deep discount. I have a bin full of them. I liked it.
Yeah.
Not as a set, but it contributed to the rest of the set.
Schnapps.
Schnapps would have been a much better product to buy.
Yeah. But Dave, you mentioned earlier the Trollbots. That was a piece
it's like,
of
why?
Crap too.
Like, why? Like you're packaging them with Technic pieces. Like, why are you building Throwbots? Like, that was a whole kind of, again, leading into the 90s of just, what are you guys doing? Technic is Technic.
Okay, I want to argue that one. Although I can't find, I do, and I can't find them, so I'm just typing it in here.
Yeah, Trollbots.
Trollbots.
It was one word, I believe. Throwbots came out just as I was getting back into Lego after being away for 4 or 5 years, and I cannot find them in here for some reason.
Wasn't that?
But anyway, I know what year, because it was like 1999-ish. So let's just Technic year 99-ish. Might have been a little bit prior to that.
Yeah, but
here they are. So
I have that guy.
Yeah, I have like 3 or 4 of these guys, and the reason why I bought these guys was because they had gears in different colors.
Yeah.
So I saw this and I thought, oh, I have all these older grayer gears. I want different colored gears to do things. So I ended up buying these because at that point, like, they were pretty cheap too. Yeah. Dave's got one.
I actually got a bunch of those parts too from a used lot that I bought.
Yeah.
And I didn't use much of those, but I did end up using a few. I used a few of the gearbox actually to,
the gearboxes are great.
Yeah, the gearboxes
were great.
Yeah. Yeah, and in hindsight, I only used those gears. I've never really used any of these other parts.
No.
So go ahead, Dave.
No, I was gonna say I'm with Dave on that. Like, I use the gearboxes of those things extensively.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they were compatible with Technic bricks, and you had holes that you could put studs in and them, and so they were kind of compatible.
Well, I just remember they also released they had some Throwbot pieces in the RCX, the first 1.0 RCX. I'm going, why is there
this is
in the RCX? This is Snap.
Thanks, Rick.
But I guess when it comes right down to it, like most, except for Galador, and it's very hard to interface, as we said before, it's very hard to interface Galador with the regular system line.
Yeah.
I remember somebody took the pod one time and built it into a mock, and that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
But overall, with the Throwbots, the juniorized, all the Zednaps, they all worked with the other themes, and you could do, like, I remember going to, I think it was Brickfest. The guy had like a 6-foot span or a 12-foot span train bridge just made out of Zednap to go between 2 tables. Then going, that's brilliant. Like, if you look back now, it's just the easiest thing in the world. But I don't know. I find no matter how bad the theme is, and no matter how much we hate time cruisers, like, you can use those pieces anywhere else.
Yeah.
I just realized that the reason why I couldn't find Throwbots is that they're actually under the category Sizzler, but we call them Throwbots. So I wonder if Sizzler is like the European version, maybe? Sizzler?
Slicer.
I think Throwbots, because I remember they were called Throwbots when I was a kid.
But I'm wondering if in Europe it was maybe the Slicer.
See, there's Throwbots there. So.
Yeah. So I mean, there's like 3 Throwbot pictures here, but all the rest say
Slicer.
Energy Slicer.
Yeah. I remember seeing one because I remember buying it.
Yeah, exactly. So I know they had this in Canada, and I know it was a Throwbot in Canada for sure.
Yeah, it was a Throwbot because I remember I do have these instructions somewhere.
Yeah,
and it says Throwbots on them.
Yeah.
That and it's that set. So
excuse me, sorry. I gotta sneeze again. Sorry.
You're a little
it's like when Technic kind of went with this guy. Like, Technic at the beginning was for adults or expert builders, and you could build cars and helicopters. And then they came out with the sets with this guy in it, and they're still underneath the Technic line.
Yeah.
The Arctic one. It's kind of a neat set where they had the big huge station on the skis and whatever. And this guy's out there skiing in the ground, and then they went to the Throwbots, which is also Technic.
Well, there was some years between that, Dave.
Oh, a few, but
because the Arctic sets, because I'm just pulling that up right now, are 1986, and Throwbots were 1999. So,
are we?
Dave,
Is that the Arctic sets? The Technic Arctic sets?
Yeah,
there. Wow.
Yeah, because
I am old.
You just realizing that now?
I love that one. The last one, I had that one.
So I have a story for this one. I went to Holland with my family. I was 15, and I went to Holland. We went there for 2 or 3 weeks. My sister will probably chime in. Thank you, sis. I just saw the bless you. And we went to Holland, and I asked my parents said you can have like $250 or whatever, Dutch guilders, I think it was back then, but it was pre-Euro. But then they're like, you can spend it on stuff. You can use that as spending money. I'm like, okay, fine. So I saved it all up. I didn't spend it on anything until I got to a Dutch toy store, and went to the store, and I grabbed this set, I think, and I went up to the cash, and I was like, I just have enough money for this one, because in my head I was thinking tax, and I put it down, and they ran it through, and I'm like, there's no tax? My parents probably translated it for me, and they're like, no, there's no tax on this stuff. So I quickly ran back and got another set. but like I got mine, I think, directly from Holland. I'm pretty sure it was this one. It was either this one or it was
like a Canadian.
Oh no, you know what it was? Hold on, I just realized it wasn't this one. It was the yellow airplane.
The Technic airplane.
Yeah, but that from that same time frame. So
yeah.
Year 86-ish. What just happened? Sometimes it disappears on me. It was the one that came with a big prop.
Yep.
No, it wasn't. It would have been. I'm trying to think. I was 15, so that would have been like 1990. Now that I think about it.
I can't help you with this one, Jeff. I don't have that one built.
No, it's a large set. I mean, I'm gonna say 90 or 91, but let's just see. Nope. Anyways, keep on talking. I'll find it.
I remember the Technic plane, the yellow one with the pontoons on it. That was
the other one. I'm gonna find it pretty quick because I just realized
I'm gonna go on the note road here. A theme that I thought would do horribly and ended up doing great was Ninjago. Because I remember when it was announced back in 2000 something, and I remember that it came out. The first images came out. Oh, that's a nice set.
It's a nice set.
Yeah.
Mostly yellow though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was all yellow Technic, but it had It had one part in it that I would say was fairly unique.
Yeah, the big prop.
What?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that was a 1x4 brick with gear behind it and a propeller. And I remember letting it tell him. I think I got it back, but that's a different story.
So
Jeff can talk about Ninjago for a long time because his kids watched it. And
and
all the episodes.
Yeah,
because Ninjago, I remember when the first images of the set came out. I remember somebody on FBTB.net forums saying, was that old team designed by our 10-year-old on a sugar high?
Which one, Ninjago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because you had the skeletons and the motorbikes and the ninjas, and you were how are these things connected actually?
So to me, Ninjago is the reason why we don't have a lot of castle right now, because I think Lego considers ninjas a castle type theme, because like over the years, like when we had like the older castle themes, we did get a ninja theme that was the castle theme for that year, and I wonder if that's why one of the reasons why we don't have it right now. Either that or it takes a portion of castle sales away, perhaps. But I mean, the real reason is the TV show is actually pretty decent.
Yeah,
they have different stories,
and that's the whole point. Because I remember vividly that comment, and it goes to show that Lego did their homework on that one. because it was designed to appeal to 10-year-old boys.
Yeah.
And girls.
It did.
And girls.
And girls.
Yeah, you got
my
Nia in
sister
there.
and a lot of her friends are big fans of that show. So
You got Nia in there.
So,
my sister, my daughter, and her
as
friends.
you said, Jeff, it's a great show, and it works great as a TV show on its own. It works great.
Yeah.
The one I was surprised that it didn't work very well was Exoforce, because I the second they released it, I bought all of them the first year. I was going to be Exoforce complete, and I loved them. I thought these are fantastic, big mechs. Because people love mechs, right?
Oh yeah.
And it was the first time that Lego actually went with a mech theme.
Yeah, and the second year they released more, and I bought all of them, and then they stopped. Like that was it. That was the end of Exoforce. It was 2 years, and it was like wow.
And it wasn't supported like as contrary to Ninjago, it wasn't supported by a TV show. It wasn't supported by.
And they were cool builds. I mean, now they did have these robots that were in them as well.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting because I mean, to me, that's kind of looks like one of the Bionicle type figures as well.
It was more Bionicle, but it was fantastic.
And this is 2008, so it is as Bionicle or post Bionicle, maybe even.
I was honestly surprised they didn't go anywhere with it. They just canceled it, and then going, wow, that was tough. Because
I'm guessing the sales weren't the best, or
I don't know.
I mean, we're talking.
Well, I don't know about the rest of the world, but over here in Quebec, I know that sets weren't flying off the shelves. I don't think they were doing that bad, but
they sat there.
I don't think they were doing that great either. So
I like them.
But like I said, it wasn't supported by a TV show. So,
no. Well, and then they get into Chima, which is trying to be a Ninjago wannabe with the TV show and stuff.
And as for Bionicle fans, Ninjago fans, I think hated Chima because it was supposed to replace Ninjago.
Yeah,
and Chima got canceled, and they brought back Ninjago.
Yeah,
because there's a gap somewhere. There was a gap, I thought, but maybe not. Maybe 2013, 2014. I'm guessing that's when, because we're in the 40s for sets for Ninjago, and then between 13 and 14, it's a little gap here. So my first thought with Exoforce was maybe Ninjago came out, that's why they stopped Exoforce. Well, but there's a 3-year gap between those as well.
Yeah.
The Jetstar thing, and I agree with them that Exoforce has a lot of Ninjago similarities.
Yeah,
but it wasn't supported by a TV show. And if you actually watched the Netflix documentary, how the Toys from Our Childhood or something like that. I don't remember the title exactly, but it's a series of documentaries about popular toys when we were kids.
Right.
And how they were made and how they were created, like how the He-Man line was created, how the G.I. Joe line that we from the Hasbro time was created. And all these big toy lines, they were supported by TV shows back in our days.
Oh yeah, Transformers, straight up, Ninja Turtles.
So, I think for Ninjago, Kimchi Bricks here. I'm wondering, is this person trying to say that Ninjago is the Fast and Furious line of Lego sets?
They were just in space.
Exactly. Although, if anybody hasn't seen F9, thanks, Dave. You just gave it away.
I wasn't talking about F9. I wasn't honestly talking about F9.
And now they're underwater.
That sucks. This. At least it's not your car. What do I else get? It covers all themes. Yeah. I think Exoforce is fantastic. Yeah, Exoforce was awesome. I remember when we went to Brick Fair or Brick World Chicago, we got a set as well in our bag when we arrived. And I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it was after
the sets were great. They had lots of cool parts, and it had like this Japanese anime kind of feel to it.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised it didn't catch on. But I think you're right. It has to have a TV show behind it.
Well, yeah, and I mean, maybe the marketing wasn't all that great either, right?
Yeah.
Like, if Lego was to create a TV show around castle themes with a core group of main characters with good stories and good writing, I could see Castle making a strong comeback. They did try to do that. It was called Nexo Knights. No, just joking. Yeah, I think the problem is just trying to get that good story and good
I think a castle line would do great on its own. It doesn't need a TV show. You have a core of castle dedicated fans that would buy the castle sets right off the bat. So you don't need a TV show to support that line. You just need
I
to
think
put
if
it together.
actually let somebody do a like Lord of the Rings type series with the castle line without making it juniorized and stupid comedies, like an actual like do like the Lord of the Rings with Lego, except not make it the stupid
not Lord of the Rings
stuff like that. That'd be awesome. Like I'd like to see an adult Lego show, like not like adult, like
called Lego Masters, Dave.
A grown-up Lego show. Like I don't know, just do something like not Seinfeld or something like that. Just like Castle would be perfect. Yeah. It's like I don't know. I just find sometimes it'd be nice to see a computerized Lego version of an adult themed TV or a grown-up themed TV show.
As Rick's saying though, do kids really want Castle?
You just sold 10,000 copies of a Castle set.
Yeah, how many kids bought that 10,000 copies of the $200+
Those are us.
Like, it's a good point. Like, if the kids are not interested in a Castle set, they're not going to make a Castle line, even though the adults will buy them, because we're still not a huge, like, we are a larger portion of the market. But
thank you.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Lego style games.
My sons are still interested in building castles and still interested in night stories and dragon. And
I agree, but I also think that there's an evolution of the kid's life. Like when I was a kid, there was obviously no internet and stuff because I'm that old. But you had the train sets, the HO train sets, and it was you walk into almost any store, you could buy train sets and parts for your train set. You have to go to a specialist hobby store now to get anything for a train set because nobody has a 4x8 sheet of plywood in their basement with the train layout on it anymore. When I was a kid, I could count on both hands and even have leftovers of my friends who had train sets in their house. Right, and that's all gone now. And so the idea of castles, I don't think Lego would get anywhere if they even re-released the classic castle line. Like you have to have a gimmick like the Nexo Knights.
It has to have a story. It has to have something to it.
Something that
brings
it into the 21st century. I know it's not right, but
but if you look at what the poll that Lego ran last year about the famous set they're gonna release for the 90th, all the castle lines put together put Castle in third place, I think, or second place.
For sure, but that's us adults voting on that thing, not kids.
Well,
no, there
I
were
don't think so.
Kids voting too. There definitely were kids voting on that, I would say.
Yeah, kids were voting too. So,
but I mean, if it was instead of all the different individual categories, if it was Castle, Space, and Thane, it would probably been a lot closer groupings.
Yeah, I do agree that they kind of poisoned the well by having multiple themes represented.
Yeah.
In different things like that. Like I'm not saying pirates and castle are the same, but it's basically close to the same genre.
Yes, I would like castles and architecture line.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh,
I would like to see the famous German one,
Yeah, micro build castle.
Nuremberg? That's the racing track. You know which one. Yeah. But and World of Warcraft style Lego sets.
Oh my goodness! If they do StarCraft,
I don't know.
Warcraft, I'm buying every single set.
Blizzard Lego sets. Oh wait, we've already had Overwatch, so we could do Blizzard Lego sets.
The Overwatch did not appeal to me. Like if you really
I'm saying that there was already a license with Blizzard, so it could be a possibility if they were to do a
StarCraft line, and I get like a siege cannon, siege tank. Oh my goodness, I'm buying 20 of those. Like, yeah, like, I tried to build a siege tank on a Lego.
So. You guys are on fire on the chat tonight. I have to say, I'm trying to keep up, but it's like every time I'm like, okay, I'm at the bottom. It's like 10 new chats. Back time cruisers, let them travel through the themes one wave at a time. If they were to do a time traveling theme with some good characters that every year or every cycle of releases they would have a different place they visit. I think that would be really cool because then you could go like Roman times, you could go to Greek time, like you could do all the different architecture type things as well.
Like the
and you could go forward, you could move into space lines or bring back some classic space sets.
Nobody
Or
likes classic space, David. Nobody likes classic space. What are you talking about?
Mr. Blue was saying there's an Australian person he watches from Lego Masters Australia, and her channel name is For Brick's Sakes.
For Brick's sakes. I like that.
That's funny. I like that. Yeah, 10,000 sets seems like a lot to us, but there's, well, I did to us, but they're selling millions of child focus sets. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think it all comes down to story, right? If you can't have a good story for stuff, like if you can't come up with something like a hook to hook the kids, I mean, like they've tried. I mean, with Hidden Side stuff and that. They're trying out all these different ways to get kids hooked into it.
Against the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah, I mean, buy a set, get your own life-size jousting pole. No, that wouldn't work.
So in the end, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna change my answer. I'm gonna use my lifeline. I'm gonna change my answer that the worst theme, as this conversation was talking about, is Galador. And only because of across the board, it doesn't fit with the rest of the entire franchise.
So we changed one person's mind because originally Dave's like, "Look, it has Technic pins."
Well, I'm just saying it does. But when we're talking about it, we talked about Throwbots, and I wasn't a fan of Throwbots, but I love the pieces that came in Throwbots for my other builds. Zednap, love the pieces and the deep discounts. Like every other theme that we talked about that have dislikes about it. Have pluses to it, and Galador as itself should have been released underneath. I mean, I know historically Lego had a bunch of other pseudonyms for their company that they could have used, and they don't call it Lego, because Galador does not fit into the rest of the franchise well as everything else does.
Neither does Duplo. No, I'm just joking. No,
hey, I've seen huge builds with Duplo. I got 2 bins of Quattro.
I just recently saw that there was a Quattro brick. That's a conversion from Quattro to Duplo.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that was Jane, not Jane. Jabo. I'm trying to think of his channel's name. Brickstar's channel.
Yeah, Brickstar.
I'm like, I didn't even know that
brick, but I don't know where it is right now.
So Jeff mentions castles with monsters, and it reminds me that back when the castle theme came out with the trolls.
Oh, trolls, yeah.
So I think it was like 2008, 2009.
Okay.
In the artwork, they had some posters, and then in the artwork in the background, you did see fantasy creatures in behind. And I'm just angling the camera because I'm leaning on the table now. And that was originally they were going to go into elves and other things, and Lego just decided to not go with it at some point. I think it was Kevin. No, not Kevin Hinkle. It was Steve Witt that was mentioning that they had a plan to go on with that theme, and something went up or something happened, and they ended up not going into that.
Can you imagine all the themes that they haven't released yet?
Oh, like ideas they've had and never released, you mean? Or
I think David will remember this. There was some artwork and actually some mock-ups of an underwater monorail theme that was after Spirius.
Yeah.
that had the trans red quarter dome.
That was on Brickshelf years ago.
Yeah, and I'm going, I just, for the love of everything, I can't believe they didn't release that, because I would have been all over that.
Yeah.
Would have been all over that one. And the water one, they had a little pump, and like you could build a fountain and all the pieces and like little chutes for the water to come down for bathtub play for the kids or whatever. My goodness, I would love to have that. I saw the parts and pieces. I'm going, I can't believe they didn't release this set. This theme.
Yeah. So Dave Sincere, Cowdice said Bionicle. What do you say? What's the worst set?
Not Bionicle. The other one.
No, the Galador.
Oh,
Galador.
Yeah, Galador. I was trying to put words in his mouth.
That's
Galador. I maintain that Galador is the worst. Is it because it doesn't fit with the rest of the like Dave said, it doesn't fit with the rest of the system. In all the other teams that we talked about, there's you can
least of the best. That's it. It's the least best one.
Because all the other teams you can grab a piece, grab something. Even I saw people using Bionicle parts to build great organic like spaceships,
Yeah.
and they look amazing, but I never saw someone using Galador ports for something else.
Period. Yeah. Uh, um, I would personally say Jack Stone just because I absolutely hated those figures. I mean, and Galador is up there as well. Although I do have a fond memory of kicking one of those big Galador eggs across the George Mason University front hall at one of the Brick Fests because someone had it, and we were just kicking it around because that was all it was good for. It was a sports thing. Sports thing.
Sports, cool sports.
Sports thing, man. So, but yeah, I mean, Galador is up there, but I mean, it's just it's the one I tend to forget. So, what's up, Dave?
I have to go. 1 second.
You have to go. Yeah, we're gonna end it anyhow. So, well,
if we're gonna end it, bye.
Yeah, well, we'll end it anyhow. We're at 1:45, an hour 45, and my back is sore. So, thanks for coming out, guys. We had at one point we had 9 or 10 people in the chat, so that was awesome. We had a lot of chat going on. It was hard to keep up, but it was good to see you guys. Yeah, exactly. Galador doesn't look like Lego.
Yeah,
it was a bad idea.
It wasn't packaging. Even the packaging of the sets were not Lego like. So
yeah. So I don't know. Do we wait for Dave to come back, or do we just because he kind of walked away? But
bye, Dave.
As well, we'll end the show here. We'll talk to you guys later. Tune in next week. We'll have another topic. Maybe we'll talk about the worst set. I don't know. I'm going to be back at this location. I'll be back on site in a different person's Lego room. If you notice bins are missing, particularly the sand green bin, don't worry about it. It'll come back eventually empty. But anyway, we'll talk to you guys later, and we'll see you next week. Maybe we'll do something on the weekend. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
All right.
All right. We'll end the broadcast, and I'm clicking the buttons.